I'm Renee. I'm from Perth, WA, and I've had a breast lift and breast augmentation.
Okay, and your surgeon was Dr. Runke?
Yeah, Dr. Runke.
Why did you actually decide to have surgery? What was your thoughts about your surgery in the first place?
So, for a couple of years now, I think from early development, I suppose I didn't develop right, and for a couple of years I'd been thinking about getting a breast lift. I'd never thought about getting implants. I sort of thought, yeah, you can lift them and they'll be wonderful, but yeah, just from speaking to surgeons and reading up on them, I realised, you know, you've got to lift them and fill them to make them look a little bit more natural. So yeah, I just wanted it for a long time, mainly for my confidence, I suppose, because yeah, especially having to get the lift, that was my main priority really.
And why did you actually choose to have the procedures overseas as opposed to having them done in Australia?
A lot of the factor was money. I mean, everyone thinks about the money aspect, but I'd looked into it quite a bit as far as I'd heard things about getting it done overseas, things about getting it done in Australia, and there were so many good reports about getting it done overseas. And yeah, I suppose when I looked into it, I was quite comfortable knowing that, you know, you get what you pay for in either country, and yeah, there were just really good reports as far as Thailand was concerned. A friend of mine was thinking about doing it as well, and she'd had really good reports.
So that's how you were directed to Medi Makeovers, is that it?
Yeah, that's right. So a friend of mine had a friend of a friend who had worked with somebody, dealt with somebody at Medi Makeovers, and she had nothing but good things to say about it. I was really comfortable with the information I was getting. It didn't seem like it was something trying to sell a product, it was more just giving us information. So just the fact that, you know, they were telling me things I wanted to hear as far as what I needed to know, not so much like, you know, you can get this and you can get that. It was a very natural process for you. Yeah. And so how did you actually feel about your consultation with Dr. Runke when you arrived at the hospital? I was really comfortable. He saw me and gave me all the information I needed to know, just sort of knew what my body type needed. It also helped with like yourself and Kim being there. You'd obviously seen a few women come through, and knowing what would look natural to me. I know that I was considering like the bigger size. I mean, you get a bit overwhelmed sometimes, but I was recommended the smaller size because that would help with the recovery process, and afterwards just knowing that that wouldn't affect maybe my healing and just them looking quite natural. So I was just comfortable being able to take my top off in front of strangers. That was a rarity, I suppose.
Yeah.
And now I can do it as much as I want to.
That's it, you can flash them, show them off.
Yeah.
Right, so when you finished with your consultation with Dr. Runke, you were very comfortable about taking the next step to go on with the surgery?
To be honest, and the lead up to coming over, I wasn't thinking about it at all. I was so overwhelmed, I suppose, by the thought of it. Just surgery in general, not coming over to Thailand, just I suppose getting codes in.
Yeah, it's a nervous process.
Yeah, and as soon as I went into the consultation, it sort of felt whirlwind, which was a great thing, you know. I came in, got my consultation, was told everything I needed to know, and it was just like I didn't have time to think about it, so I was really comfortable. I knew that I would be in good hands.
And the way we helped you beforehand, you had sort of quite a bit of knowledge, and like your compression garments were given to you, the whole process was set out for you, so you felt very comfortable by the time you arrived.
Definitely. I printed out all the information that was emailed to me. I had it in a booklet, and I was reading it throughout, you know, the upcoming weeks. So I was really happy with that information. Like, I packed accordingly. I had, you know, all my toiletries that I needed, my compression garments. Like, I was pretty set up. It's like I brought an entire chemist over.
Perfect.
But you know, it's
so
been really helpful.
The information beforehand helped you get ready for this process.
Yeah, and I was emailing Kim before I was coming over anyways, asking her about insurance, asking her about all sorts of things that I needed to know. And I knew she was already in Thailand, but she was getting back to me really quickly, so I was happy with that.
That's good. And what about your stay while you were actually in the hospital? You were in there for 3 nights for the surgery.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about the ward room, the nurses, your experience there?
It was like a hotel, the hospital. It was a beautiful room. But you know, we had 24/7 care from the nurses, which was really good. If ever I was feeling a little bit of pain, then they'd see that I got the painkillers that I needed. And yeah, I'd never had a sponge bath before, and then you know they do what they have to do. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was really well. I was taken care of really well. So
that's good. And then you came out of the hospital and you came to this beautiful hotel. So you're staying at the Grand Centre Point Ratchadamri.
Yes.
So how do you feel about this hotel?
It's beautiful. I know that it's 5-star and all of that, but you know, the rooms are amazing. I'm sharing a room with a friend of mine, and just the views. We leave the the
blinds up,
and it wakes us up in the morning. But it's just really nice, and the staff, I can't believe how sweet they are. You know,
yes.
Every time you go past them, they get in there and do their job. And last night, actually, we were in the room all day, and they gave us a note, you know, that they couldn't clean our room, and I just happened to push the makeup room when I left it, the time which is outside of cleaning hours, and we got back and they'd cleaned it. So
yeah, they're very good here.
Yeah, they are. They're wonderful.
So it's a pity you can't use the pool, but it's a nice pool to look at.
Yes,
but
I have been out there anyways. Just had a look in the cooler periods, and
so you can sit outside and dangle your feet in the pool.
Yeah, yeah.
But so here's you're in the library room, and there's a private theatre room here and the gym. So it's good to have these amenities just to recover afterwards.
I mean, if I was more able, I'd love to come to this hotel again. It's just the fact that it's so central to where we need to go shopping wise as well. It's a bit dangerous, but it's also
much money being spent at the shopping
centres.
Yeah,
but you know, all the shopping centres are just walking distance from here, so it's a beautiful location.
So you might need an extra suitcase to go home.
I already bought one, so yeah.
So that brings me to sort of the next thing, the fact that, you know, a lot of people think when they come over here they're not going to be as mobile as you are now, because you're 11 days post-surgery and you're actually leaving to go home tonight.
Yes.
So just tell us what you've actually done here while you've been here in Bangkok.
To be honest, when I was in the hospital on the 3rd day, and my friend was already back because she only had augmentation, she was telling me, she's like, you're going to be fine, you're going to be walking around. I couldn't believe her at all. But it's almost as immediately when we came to the hotel. Sorry, I was walking a little bit crouched over and sort of had to support myself quite a bit, but it was amazing just how quickly I was recovering. And yeah, so since then we've done far too much shopping. Got massages almost every night, been out to dinner, you know, with the group, and that's been really good. Like just socialising with people. Every morning at 8 a.m. we have breakfast, and that sort of makes you get up. Honestly, if I wasn't here with the group, I'd just probably spend all day in my room because it's so beautiful. But
it makes you get up and mix with the others.
It really does. And you know, we've gone to the cultural show, which was amazing.
The show?
Yes, like I've been to shows in Bali that are just the outside, sort of like the ones that were before the actual show.
Yes, yeah.
And this was amazing. The whole time I was thinking, my God, they can put on a show. Like it just felt so Western, even though it was Eastern. Yeah.
And you got to feed the elephants.
Yeah, I'm going to take them home with me. I won't fit in my bag. But yeah, just being able to get pampered all the time and go shopping whenever we want, and also being able to rest whenever we want. Like there's days where I haven't gone out, just want to sleep sometimes, but just having the luxury to do one or the other.
And so would you, so now you're nearing the end of your stay, would you refer Medi Makeovers when you go back home?
Absolutely. Like I'd only heard about Medi Makeovers through my one friend, and you know, I'd spoken to a lot of people about coming over, and I suppose there was sort of split, like don't do it there or do it there. But I'm sure if I'd spoken to somebody who'd been through Medi Makeovers, that, you know, there would be more of a conversation about doing it. So I would absolutely refer them. If anyone's talking about it, like that is going to be my first point of call. I'm like, go here. Because if I ever had to do anything in the future, that's who I would go through, absolutely. And I wouldn't even, I had dental work done in Australia, but that's just because it was quite a few trips. But anything in the future, like if I get to come to this beautiful place and pay the prices that I did, I would definitely come over.
We offer quite discounted prices for the hotels. So
and just the fact that, you know, the hospital can do everything. Like I'm going to refer my partner.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to get your dental work done in Thailand.
Yes, absolutely. We'll look after him.
Yes, yes.
And so your experience prior to coming over to Thailand and now on your day that you're leaving, is it different to what you thought it was going to be, or was
Yes.
it?
Yeah. I don't want to leave. You know, I'd spoken to my friend about how long we were going to be here, and we were like, oh my God, that's a long time. You know, I need to get back to Australia and do this and that. I wish I could stay here for another month.
Yeah.
But I have never been to Thailand before, and this is such a good introductory to the country. I've written down everywhere that we've gone, just because, you know, it's as nice as it is coming with the group and sharing it. I also would like to share it with my partner and even just any of my friends. And
So I guess you're coming back to Thailand. That's what you're saying.
I have to plan out when, but absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yes.
Well, thanks very much.
No
I'm glad you
problem.
came with the mini makeovers.
So am I. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.